So before the video starts, I just want to put a disclaimer out there saying that these views are all my opinion and based off of the information I've gathered from various sources. Much of this information is still alleged at this time, and you should always form your own opinions. My point of this video is not to hurt anyone or to damage anyone's career, but to shine light on and examine a very serious situation and to create a healthy dialogue down in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and be prepared for this one to get pretty deep. Okay, so David Dobrik is one of the most famous people on the internet today. He's one of those people who I would say is so famous that he crosses over into the world of celebrity. I've never personally understood why people enjoyed his content. To me, it just seems like all the local high school douchebags got together and made a YouTube channel. This guy is nothing more than the Ellen DeGeneres of my generation. He puts on a good face for the media and always makes himself look like the shining little star in his videos, but in the background lies some deep dark secrets and possibly illegal behavior. Because until now, David was known almost exclusively for having an extremely clean and in a way family-friendly persona. And a lot of people saw him as one of YouTube's golden children who could do no wrong. Oh, that's just David being David type shit. And it's ironic because someone like Jake Paul has been flamed his entire career for his many missteps along the way, especially in regards to how he treats others, when in reality these two are not very far apart. And I would go as far as to say I would trust Jake more. At least Jake will stab you in your chest and own up to it. David seems like the type of guy to stab you in the back and act like you fell on his blade. And this whole investigation into David's past has really been propelled to the forefront by H3H3's Ethan Klein and Trisha Paytas on their somewhat new podcast Frenemies, where I actually feel like each of them have shown quite a bit of character development. It all started when Trisha started talking about David's sketchy past and the way he would treat the members of his vlog squad, which is a large, ever-cycling group of people who David features in his very popular vlogs. Trisha used to be a part of this crew and date David's right-hand man Jason Nash. She describes multiple instances where David took it too far for the sake of content, refusing to remove clips from his videos even when they made her extremely uncomfortable or put her relationship in jeopardy.
Hannah just called, actually. She wanted to...
Again, not interested. I didn't make the joke, he did! I don't want to have a threesome with Tana!
Guys, chill. This is the stupidest fucking fight ever.
She doesn't like Tana jokes. Drop it.
So did you actually get mad in this moment, or is this just part of the gag?
Oh my god, we had so many fights over this.
So give me some insight to what's
You'll see
happening
I take my
here.
clothes off. I take my clothes off in this bit. Like, I fucking go, I lose my shit. I get completely
Why
naked.
did you take your clothes off?
Because I didn't want him to use it in the vlog. I'm like, if I get completely naked, he can't use it. You'll see he like leaves it in and like blurs it out.
Oh my
and like when it was an actual thing where we told him like this is not funny, like, and they didn't make it for a while.
You
like,
said do not include this.
So he did this for months, and this is like the final time when we really blew up, and I'm like, don't fucking do those jokes. He stopped until he needed to get me out of the vlog squad.
Now from here, Trisha and Ethan started diving into more of the experiences of the other former Vlog Squad members. A guy who goes by the name Big Nick describes his experience with David as a never-ending roast session where everyone felt like they could make fun of his height simply because David did it so frequently, even saying that he felt like his sole purpose of being in the Vlog Squad was to be made fun of and laughed at due to his dwarfism, and even recalling times when fans would come up and say rude things as well. He made this Vlog Squad sound like much more of a cult, with the leader at the top being David, than some sort of fun video group. A cult with everyone below kissing David's ass in hopes of precious time in his vlog, which of course equals a lot of potential exposure and money. So that was already sketchy. But then they got this guy Seth's side of the story and his horrible experiences with David Dobrik. You see, Seth is a black man from Compton, California, one of the most violent places in America. I mention that because it's very important to his story. You see, Seth was desperate to make a new life for himself and ready to try out the whole influencer moving to LA thing. Seeing as he was so desperate, David scooped him up and made him the latest pawn in his master plan. He constantly made racial jokes at his expense, and to make matters much worse, Seth detailed an experience during an interview with H3 that has nothing short of absolute filth from David and his friend Jason. You see, Seth had a crush on this model in the group named Corinna. Everyone knows this, so David thought it would be great material for the vlog to trick Seth into thinking he was making out with Corinna behind an old man mask, but he was actually making out with a 45-year-old Jason Nash. A man who has an ex-wife and kids at home, but does whatever David tells him to like his little puppet. I'm not gonna show the kiss here because David has been adamant about getting those videos strike down, but you can definitely find it out there. It was truly a disgusting sight to see as Jason makes absolutely no attempt to pull away as the kiss lasts well over 40 seconds. It really was some absolutely sick shit, and if this was anyone else on YouTube, I feel like they would have been called out a long time ago. When this information resurfaced, David Stans was saying that Seth should have known better and known that a prank was coming, or that it's not a big deal, this is just what friends do. Some even questioned why Seth didn't say anything years ago when this happened. And to me, who cares when he brings it up? A lot of times people don't realize they've been violated till much later on, and that's perfectly normal. To me, this is just beyond a prank. They insulted this guy's dignity and straight up assaulted him. And when he asked them to take the video down out of respect, all David did was ask him how much money it would cost for him to keep this video up, offering him a couple $100s. And later on his podcast, David admitted that he loved this prank even more because he knew Seth's friends from back home would give him shit for not only kissing another man on camera, but it also going viral.
Oh, let's talk about this. What really made me happy.
What?
Today, we pulled a prank on my friend Seth.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, and now you can talk about it.
It's probably the best prank I've ever pulled on anyone, in my opinion. Like, with tongue, they start making out. And at this point, we're like 5 seconds in, and I'm like, this is it. This is what I wanted. I got what I wanted. I'm out. Like, we can end this. I'm like, I literally, I think I looked up to the ceiling, and I'm like, God, what did I do to deserve such beauty? And then Seth finally lets up after 25 seconds of making out with Jason, and he sees Corinna, and he just fucking loses it.
Yeah, it was great.
It was my favorite thing.
You can't fake that. You know,
it
wouldn't be something you could ever fake.
It was so perfect, and I feel so bad, and it's awful because the poor guy had to go through that. And his friends are probably going to chew him out for that for the next, 3-5 years of his life.
Well, as Seth tells it, the homosexuality is not so accepted in where he comes from.
Seth's from Compton.
Dudes kissing dudes is not so accepted.
Seth's from Compton, so it's the perfect...
At least straight dudes kissing straight dudes.
Literally the perfect setup.
This guy has no remorse for the people he puts in his vlogs. He treats them like pawns in his game, and the more desperate you are for clout, the more he seems to want to fuck with you and then toss you aside like a dirty rag. It's like the cost of clout is being embarrassed in his vlogs. He's constantly talking down on his supposed friends, and overall he's being exposed from all angles. Because a new story has broken where a woman named Hannah came forward with some alarming allegations regarding David and a former member of his squad who goes by the name Dom. Keep in mind, this guy Dom is one of David's childhood friends who he chose to bring to LA. She says one of her friends named Sarah was in contact with Dom and made the connection for them to all spend some time together with the vlog squad and a few of her college friends. Of course, David was fishing for content, and some really immoral things went down that night. Also, he could get some footage for a vlog he later released on YouTube. And the following are just some quotes from a Business Insider article written about this situation. As soon as she walked in the door, Hannah said, someone shoved a camera in her face. She has one line of dialogue in the video. As she and her friend sit down on the couch, Hannah is heard saying she doesn't actually know who anyone in the vlog squad is. Get the fuck out, vlog squad member Jason Nash yells in response as everyone laughs. In real life, Hannah says she didn't find the banter funny. At one point she said Nash, who was 45 at the time, made a comment along the lines of, "Oh, you have a personality? Hot girls like you usually don't." I immediately felt really uncomfortable because I was under the impression that we were gonna meet these really cool content creators, we were gonna hang out, maybe film something, but it was high pressure from the moment we walked in. Hannah told Insider that she felt pressured by Dom and the other vlog squad members into helping them create content that objectified her. She said Dom took turns interacting with Hannah and her friends, and that he pulled her onto his lap at one point without asking permission. Also, I want to chime in right here to say everything she says in this article seems legit. I have watched the footage, and David and his friends are some absolute cringe gods. I mean, this was a terrible environment to just walk into. It was very much an environment where it felt like saying no was not okay, Hannah said. It felt like from the moment we came there was an expectation that they were doing us a favor and that we had to give them some content. They were verbally like, "Why aren't you guys being fun? Do something sexy." Hannah said Dom started calling her baby, and asking her if she wanted to be his Instagram girlfriend. She said Dom told her she could make $10,000 a week and become famous if she agreed, but Hannah says she declined and Dom briefly seemed to move on from her. A while later, Hannah says Dom approached her again and asked her if he could talk to her. She agreed and said Dom led her out of the room that her friends were in, down a dark hallway, and into a pitch black bedroom. Hannah says Dom guided her in through the door, and she said she quickly turned around and told him she wanted to go back to where her friends were. But Dom blocked the exit with his body and started asking her why she didn't like him and why she wouldn't date him. Hannah said Dom asked if they could hook up. She replied no, to which he said, "No, you at least have to give me a kiss." She says she was getting really scared at this point because he wasn't letting her leave and her friends were in a totally different part of the house. I was like, what happens if I keep saying no? So I just gave him a kiss. She returned to where her friends were sitting, and around that time she said a couple members of the vlog squad returned with a dark colored bottle of liquor. I also want to stop the story right here and say that it was rumored that this guy Jeff was the one who supplied the alcohol, but he since denied that allegation on the H3 podcast, though at that time he also confirmed everything else that happened that night, including all of this illegal activity done by this guy Dom, and David being the one setting up this whole scenario. Trisha Paytas was also at the apartment for about 45 minutes that night with Hannah and her friends. Paytas said the night was not a good situation. She said she left because the women were drinking while underage, which felt insane to her. Paytas also said the women made it clear that they did not want to have group sex with Dom. Hannah said she drank so much alcohol the night she filmed with the vlog squad that she blacked out. Sarah told Insider that Hannah wanted to go to Dom's room with Dom while intoxicated with their friend Aubrey. And although Sarah said she could tell that Hannah was drunk, she was comfortable with letting her go into the room because Hannah wouldn't be alone with Dom. I just remember seeing her and Dom talking a lot, added Sarah, who said Hannah and Dom were both drinking. They were both on the floor and definitely a lot of alcohol was being exchanged and kind of like nudged toward her. There were definitely times where she was drinking it of her own volition, but there were also times where he was clearly trying to get her to drink more. Sarah said Hannah was able to walk into the room, but that she could tell she was drunk because she started talking excessively and expressed abstract thoughts. She was not fully coherent and articulate, Sarah said. You could tell she was definitely affected by something. It was very obvious in the way that she was speaking, which was very fast and a lot. Keep in mind, this girl at the time was under drinking age. Once Hannah and Aubrey were in the room with Dom, Sarah said the other members of the vlog squad started trying to listen in. Some of them even opened the door to look at what was happening, and Sarah said in retrospect she thought that it was disgusting that people were watching. Obviously, Hannah did not consent to the act itself, but she especially did not consent to having multiple men peek their heads in to confirm what was happening. Sarah said David Dobrik was among the vlog squad members trying to look into the room. She shared a video of David she took that night with Insider, in which he can be seen responding to someone asking if he found success in getting into the room with Dom. No, he locked the door, Dobrik responds in the video, camera in hand. Sarah said Dom and Audrey came out of the room first, and that Sarah went in after him to find Hannah lying limp on the bed. Sarah said she was immediately concerned, and that she remembered Hannah tugging on her ear and asking where her earring was. Hannah said she does not remember having sex with Dom, and that Audrey had to be the one to tell her. Specifically, Hannah said Audrey told her that Dom was having sex with Hannah and didn't stop as Hannah showed signs of losing consciousness. So Audrey took over to get him to stop. I'll spare some of the other details, but her friends made it very clear that she was too drunk to consent and that this night really negatively affected her life and overall was very traumatic. And in the vlog that featured Hannah, the bit about the included scenes that Sarah said was shot that night, as well as a scene Sarah said was reshot to make it look like it occurred that night. In the scene shot as the sex was occurring, Dobrik and the other vlog squad members joke about Dom having sex with Hannah and Audrey. In one scene, a member is standing in the hallway outside Dom's room and says, "We just need to get in there to get a head count for the vlog." A guy named Whittick then opens the door and tells Dobrik there are 3 people in the room. Then a guy named Antonian opens the door and says, "Oh my god," while Dobrik laughs. Then a guy named Smith says, "I'm getting kinda horny just listening to this." And the 4 men laugh. In the next scene, Dom is standing in his room drenched in sweat. Sarah said she did not believe this scene was shot while she and Hannah were in the apartment and that Dom wasn't actually dripping sweat that night. Dom says, "Thanks, David," and gives him a high five after Dobrik asks if it was his first some. At the end of the vlog, Dobrik films himself, Smith, and Cavilo in the car. Sarah said this appeared to have been filmed the same night since the men were wearing the same clothes and had left the building in the same Tesla. In the scene, Dobrik says, "Dom just had a threesome and I think we're all," before Smith interrupts him to say, "going to jail." Dobrik laughs and says, "I think we're all going to jail." Cavilo then says, "See you in 20 years. And later when speaking about the video, David said, when they all got there, they were like, "Oh no, I don't want to have sex. I don't want to have sex." Except 2 of the girls wanted to have sex, so he ended up having a threesome, which was still his first threesome, and it was very exciting for him. His friend then asked if the other Vlog Squad members peeked into the room to confirm Dom was having sex with the 2 women as they were depicted in the vlog, and Dobrik said, "Yeah, well, you know, he didn't have sex with them unless we saw it with our own eyes." In a closing statement, Hannah says, "It's difficult to describe how it feels knowing that millions of strangers have seen a video of me in a night that affected me and traumatized me in nearly incomprehensible ways, not knowing that anything was wrong." So that's her story as told by Business Insider. Like I've said, these are all allegations at this moment, but if there is any truth to this story, it's very, very bad for David Dobrik and all his friends. And look guys, at the end of the day, as the creator and the leader of the group, you're responsible for your members at the very least when they're around you. If David is creating this type of toxic, dangerous environment and enabling these creepy guys all for the sake of vlog content, then he's a piece of shit. Like I said, it seems to me like he preys on people who want clout and or are infatuated with the influencer lifestyle. It took David months, but he finally responded to every allegation, conveniently leaving this more serious one out of his 2-minute and 31-second apology video where he disabled the ratings and the comments. How are you gonna call the video "Let's Talk" and then turn off all the comments? That seems like a really shady thing to do. And all David did the entire video was deflect all the blame onto his friends. He says that some of his views have changed over the years, and he barely even apologizes to Seth. And like I said, he didn't even mention that night or the girl in the slightest. Listen, this wasn't enough. This is a garbage ass, half-baked apology that seemed like the kid apologizing after he got caught red-handed, talking about how your friends have done all this bad shit. Well, where there's smoke, there's usually fire. And I really do think this is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to David and his friends. Alright guys, so it's kind of crazy, but literally while I'm editing this right now, it's like 1:07 in the morning, David actually dropped a second apology video because his first one was so garbage. And I will admit guys, in this video David does take more strides in taking responsibility and taking a little bit of accountability, but honestly I think he was only doing this because this made trending news. He was only doing this because he lost all of his sponsorships overnight. And one thing I don't like about this apology is that he acts like he knew nothing about the situation, when there's been pictures of him on that night where you can clearly see the girl being dragged out because she can't even walk, she's so drunk. I mean, I guess it really is the only thing he can do now, so I gotta say I respect it a lot more than the first video, but I don't know if I'm really buying it guys, just to be honest with you. He still created that environment. He still got lost in the sauce and was doing anything to make content. I mean, at the end of the day, he saw these girls stupid drunk and he thought, oh, what the perfect opportunity to take out my camera and film. And now people are just gonna let him off the hook? Personally, I don't think that's right. Now, am I saying I think he should be canceled? No, probably not. But I feel like he should get off with more than just a slap on the wrist. Y'all can go watch his apology. Y'all tell me what you think down below in the comments. As always, I want to thank you guys for watching today, and thank you for subscribing. I worked really hard on this video, so please drop a like and maybe share it with a friend. And as always, it's been your boy, the Tan Superman. You guys know some other news out here needs to get covered, so I'm out. Peace.